Right then, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship here for round number 3 of the 2020 Formula 2 Championship as we return to the Hungarian circuit for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're here for 20 minutes of qualifying around the Hungarian circuit, and in the commentary booth today is me, your commentator, as always, me on MG, and joining me for the first ever time in the ACOC, it is Jamie. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Milan.
Uh,
Looking forward to an exciting spectacle here today, especially since it's our second track here in the Formula 2 calendar. For the first time, we're not going to be in Silverstone for a while, and we're looking for an exciting qualifying session here today in in the Hungaroring, one of Europe's most fine tracks, and for sure.
Yes, indeed. Great to have you here in the commentary booth, though, for the first time in the ACOC. But obviously, the Hungarian makes its return to Formula 2 after a year's absence back in 2018, obviously. I believe it was Nikin Walji who took the race win, his first and to date only race win in Formula 2, and I believe it was him on pole as well that year. 2017 consisted of Thomas Mandic taking his first ever Formula 2 win, his first of 3 F2 wins. And in fact, all 3 people on the podium, which consisted of Mandic, Blackwood, and Novikov, would later go on to race in Formula 1. But before we get stuck in with qualifying, you're going to witness Ollie Boaks on his flying lap. Let's go through the track. So the Hungaroring then, located in the Hungarian town of Magyarod, just outside of Budapest, the capital of Hungary. This track was first opened in 1986 and became the first ever Formula 1 track to visit the eastern part of the Iron Curtain during the time of the Cold War. Obviously, Formula 1 has been present at this track ever since 1986, and it is usually held in the middle of summer, making a very hot and quite dry race. However, there have been some wet races over the past here, obviously. For those keen-eyed F1 fans, you do remember Jensen Button's wet race win here in 2006. But many different racing series have come here over the years, obviously. Stuff like the World Touring Car Championship, Formula 2 have been here basically every year since 2017, and a few other series as well, to name the Porsche Super Cup, and then the European Le Mans Series, and a few motorcycle events have been taking place at this track. But this layout of the circuit, the Grand Prix circuit, which has been in place since 2003, is 4.381 kilometers long, 14 turns, and as the laps start pouring in, we're seeing laps in the low 130, so we could expect to see them in the high 129s as well. But Jamie, now then, as the times are pouring in on the board, what do you make of the circuit?
Circuit's a very good one. In fact, it's one of the harder in terms of the spectrum for the calendar that we've got here for the Formula 2, but that doesn't nonetheless produce great racing for sure. It's one of the more technical ones where it's also downforce heavy. There's not quite few overtaking turns in comparison to the other ones. However, the main straight is the one where you get to see the most overtakes, especially with that hard into turn 1. That will be the prime opportunity for overtaking as well. Qualifying here will be very important for these drivers. As I said, it is pretty hard to overtake there. If you've got a good starting position and a good strategy with you, you really have to put your nail down and keep focused in it as well, for sure.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, this track has been described by a few racing drivers over the years as Monaco without the walls, considering its difficulty. But on your screens at the moment is Aaron Curtis in the Trident. Obviously, he replaces Eduardo Silva for the Hungary round here, considering Silva got race banned for his antics at Silverstone, earning the much unwanted trophy of first ever driver to be awarded a race ban in Formula 2 history, as we have all the 22 times on the board, and I'm certain no one was expecting this one, but it is Håkon Olsen, the Norwegian for the Dams team, currently on provisional pole, with Thunjatorn Konkum in second, and Adam Hidayat third for Trident. So, Jamie, obviously you haven't been here for a very long time, but Håkon Olsen, he has not secured a pole for a very long time since his debut year in 2018. So it is quite a shocker to see him back on top.
Indeed, but you need to remember that this is only just the first. It's only been 5 minutes since the qualifying session has, or 7 minutes now has since the qualifying session has started. So these drivers are just going to go out for the first laps, and expected, since the track will eventually warm up for the racing line, you expect to see much faster times in the closing stages of this session for sure. So maybe Olsen does hold provisional pole, but if he can just repeat that with a bit faster, maybe in the later stages of qualifying, then it'll be an impressive feat for him to secure his first pole position since 2018.
Yes, indeed. It'll be interesting to see if the Norwegian will be able to keep on to that position. You got Erik Adelberg in fourth, the man who won the opening round of the season, obviously, becoming a race winner in 3 different tiers, a feat I believe only he has accomplished. You got Ollie Boaks there in fifth as well, and really Sundevik in sixth. Very good qualifying for him at the moment. Obviously, as you did say, Jamie, there is 13 minutes to go, so anything can still happen, and it definitely will happen as well. Looking at Abra Chowdhury, the current championship leader, down in 13th. He obviously wanted to get off the back foot and get himself into the top 5 as Curtis comes into the pit lane. Olsen back out on track then. As we look at Tobias Schulenberg as he's about to finish his lap. No improvement. Yeah, no improvement for the German. What about Remus McGregor then? The Scotsman does not improve, and he stays in a lowly P20 at the moment. The man has been quite consistently scoring points in his first few outings in F2, as Kuben Grissom, currently running a pretty good 10th, is going to go across the line. Let's see if the American can improve. He does not. Broster does set an improvement as he improves up into 10th, knocking Grissom out of the top 10. Broster, obviously, who had quite the home drive last time at Silverstone, finishing P4. He'll be wanting to carry on the performance here to the Hungaroring, obviously, a track which over the years has not been the best track for the Brit, obviously. His highest finish being P8 in 2018 at this track, so he'll be wanting to tie up some loose ends and change the trend, so to say. As we look at this little train, or train should I say, but it's a gaggle of cars here. Konkum, and then I believe that's a Prema of Poco, I think that is the blue and red Prema car. No, that's Jimenez, sorry, that's the other Brazilian. Sorry, I'm still a bit stuck in 2019. I was thinking Poco was still a Prema, but I forget it is Jimenez in 19th at the moment.
Not sure if a train is the best situation for a track like this, considering that Sector 2 and Sector 3 are really filled with dirty air that you can now just see as well. The drivers are now sort of separating now due to the high-speed corners, and the corners, it's really hard to get the slipstream, especially in that corner-heavy area of the track as well. So not sure if really having a train is the best situation for these drivers.
Yeah, that is very, very true. The Hungarian obviously in quite a short lap as well, meaning a mistake will be more costly for you, and especially getting held up by traffic is not something you want, as Håkon Olsen goes across the line and extends his advantage over the field by about 2/10. That's really Sundevik up into 4th. Well done from the Swedish-Korean driver. He's just behind the man we're watching at the moment. Another man who runs dual nationality, Adam Hidayat, now representing the United States of America, as he's just about to cross the final corner here.
Keep it. Yeah, you need to keep it in the inside for that final corner. You get that good exit as well. Is he going to improve? No, he does. He's up into 2nd, knocks Kuknum down to 3rd.
Yeah, nicely done from Hidayat then in 2nd now. Improves just up ahead of Thunetorn Konkum in 3rd. Matija Dragovic down in 21st, a podium sitter at this circuit 2 years ago. He'll be wanting to do it again, obviously, as he crosses the line, but unfortunately cannot find any improvement. Aaron Curtis, obviously, just trailing behind the Serbian in the dams, and it is not going to be quite the pleasure for the Irishman in his first ever F2 qualifying.
Well, he is doing pretty good considering his promotion from Formula 3 to Formula 2. Charouz must have seen something in him if he's given an opportunity for just a race, and so far he's doing really good in the top 10, which is really good for someone who is just the first time in a Formula 2 car this season.
Yeah, that is quite... I guess you are right on that one. Curtis, as we know, has been a driver that is quick to adapt into new machinery. He proved it when he made his Formula E debut last season at Dubai. It was scoring, I believe it was a P5. As there goes Jean-Francois below, the man who started on a pole last time out at Silverstone, currently gets himself up into 4th. Nicely done from the Frenchman. We know his qualifying record is quite extensive over the years that he has been in the 2nd tier of the ACOC. There's Hidayat in 2nd, stuck behind, I believe that is Martinez in the UNI Virtuosi. And you can see he's just trying.
Far ahead of him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And there, look at that. There's a new pole sitter we have, and it is Alex Broster, who takes pole position by 0.3 of a second ahead of fellow countryman Ollie Boakes, who improves with the 2nd. Now, we've had some rapid-fire improvements. That all just happened in the blink of an eye, but Alex Broster now takes provisional pole from Ollie Boakes, and just like that, Håkon Olsen gets sent down 2 positions. But Broster becomes the first man to break into the 1:29s, as the Brit in the Campos takes provisional pole with 6.5 minutes to go from Ollie Boakes. Now, that was quite unexpected.
Yeah, really impressive there from Broster. I can't believe it's this early within the qualifying session that we've got to see a sub 1 minute 30 lap. It's really good there from Broster, and I think it might be a good statement for him ahead of this race for sure.
Yeah, Alex Broster, obviously, who I have to say his seasons recently have been quite of a struggle, so we'll see if he is going to be able, if this could be the turning point for the Brit. Nikhil Walji, obviously a pole sitter at this track, currently down in 14th, beating his teammate Rodrigo Jimenez, currently in 19th. But you can see there, he just encountered traffic on his flying lap as Daniel Fraser exited ahead of the Canadian as he came out of the pit lane. And you can see he is losing quite a lot of time. Same with Adelberg behind. There's McGregor then. Up into 13th goes the Scotsman. Nicely done from him. What about Ida Weitz, currently in 10th, who's going to go across the line? Weitz does not improve. He's about the 10th off his own lap. Just realized as well, Jamie, you've got the entire field stuck in a Campos sandwich, considering Broster is P1 and Stoilo is 22nd.
Yeah, I think because within the last few minutes of the session, all the cars are going to be bunched up. I think Broster might be in the best situation that he can be for as a Formula 2 driver now. He might be able to secure pole position because there's too many cars out on track. And I don't think anyone will be able to set a clean lap as fast as Broster will, to be honest.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, Formula 2, all drivers, obviously, they want to go out on track and they want to have the most opportunity to be able to secure pole. There goes Martinez up into 11th ahead of Aaron Curtis with a 1:30.680. Ari Soilu gets himself out of last place and up into P20. Mateus Poco in the Carouse goes up into 14th. But these F2 drivers, obviously, all of them want to be able to go out on track and push for pole. You think in F1, when it comes to stages like Q2 and Q3, you have a lot of guys just sitting in the pit lane at the last dying minutes of qualifying because they don't want to go out again and they want to save their car for the race. But in F2, that doesn't seem to be the case, obviously.
Yeah, the qualifying session definitely does have a way to play in as well. But it's also to do with the strive and the hunger of these drivers as well, because they're all in somewhat equal cars within, albeit just the team's equipment is the only difference here for them. They really need everything to show in regards to their talents, and having just one qualifying session as well, and here just case 20 minutes, anything really can happen, and any driver can be like in a chance for a pole chance by any chance.
Yeah, there goes Tobias Schwulenberg up into 6th, but yeah, very well said, as we're going to have a lot of quick-fire improvements now as we enter the closing stage of qualifying. Daniel Fraser goes up into 4th ahead of Adam Hedayat. Brett can't quite get himself into the top 10, but it is looking very good now for the 3 Brits in F2, P1, P2, and P4.
Not a bit unnatural.
Yeah. As Matija Dragovic, the Serbian, goes up into 21st, but Håkan Olsen splits the 2 Brits apart at the top 2 as he goes into 2nd position with a 1:31, but still not able to get into the 1:29s. Now, I'm gonna say this here, Jamie. I do not think. I think it's gonna be quite the shocker. I think it won't be anyone in the top 5 who's gonna beat Brosser. I think it's gonna be someone outside the top 5 who's gonna get onto pole, if I had to say so. Because you think usually in F2 the field is quite closely packed when it comes to pace. Speaking of, there goes Rile Sundevik up at the 2nd.
That's your proof.
Yeah, exactly.
He's only like 1/100th away from doing a sub 1:30, and I think he probably had all the clean air around him. As you've mentioned before, people within the top 5 are all probably hunched up in a field, whereas those outside probably have got much more clean air, which will allow them to set a much faster lap, given the nature of this track.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Obviously, I think it's gonna. I think the driver, and you can see obviously none of these guys I think are gonna be able to improve. You can see Broster and Olsen are currently in this little train. Dragovic is there as well, so I can guarantee you probably none of these guys are gonna be able to set improvements for the time being.
You can see that.
Yeah,
it just still remains provisional pole though, despite no improvement. But it's still kind of hanging by a thread, as you can see with Sundevik as well. There's still some challenges out there.
Yeah, I think it is gonna be. It's gonna be one of the drivers who's been in the midfield at the moment, who's just gonna have to hope to get that perfect lap in and run in clean air to be able to get themselves up to the top of the timing sheets. We're gonna watch Jean-Francois Bilot as he crosses the line, and up into 5th goes the Frenchman. Nice improvement from him, and I think my point is being proven a bit here, Jamie.
Yep, definitely sure. Here comes Sundevik is going to go across the line with no improvements, though. 3/10 off from his 1:30.082. Schwulenberg, currently 9th, doesn't make an improvement as well. Seems a bit unfortunate. Oh, Chowdhury goes up to 5th.
Yeah, very well done from Abrar Chowdhury once again. a late improver in qualifying. Up into P5 goes the Pakistani, was knocked down to P6 as Konkum in the MP Motorsport now goes up into third with a 1:30.099. It's just about a hundredth off teammate Sundevik, and it is a 2-3 at the moment for MP Motorsport, which is, I think, something a lot of people definitely were not expecting. Ron Shotanos, then the Dutchman, is going to come across the line as the checker flag has now fallen. Shotanos does not improve. Neither does Drogovic or poleman Broster, as the cars are going to come across for the final flying laps here.
The Frenchman improve. He's got one last corner to do. Coming out the final stretch now. And no, there's no improvement.
Yeah.
He remains 7th.
No improvement for below. What about Sundevik currently in second? Can he snatch away pole from Alex Broster as he's going to go across the line? No improvement for really Sundevik, and that will see the Swedish-Korean driver stay in second. Tobias Schwulenberg across the line in the Formula E race winner, recently promoted to Formula 2, does not improve. What about Chowdhury then in 6th? The Pakistani does not improve either. Jimenez into the pit lane. What about Eric Adelberg? The Swiss driver is going to come around the final corner here. And it's second for Eric Adelberg. Very well done.
That's our second sub 1 minute 30 as well. Just so close as well. Only 1/10 off from Broster's time.
Yeah, he got very, very close there, but Matthias Polk is not going to finish up his lap. And on pole here at the Hungaroring, it is Alex Broster who takes his second pole position of his Formula 2 career.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, the timing that he did whenever he did his qualifying run, even though it looked like it was hanging by a thread, I feel like the amount of cars that were on the track in the last 5 minutes of it kind of somewhat defer the chances of Heidelberg and Sundevik. But credit due where credit's due, and Broster has put up an amazing lap to earn a well-deserved pole position here for today's race.
Yeah, I have to say it was an absolutely superb lap for the Brit, and a really well-deserved pole position for the man who has been in Formula 2 since 2017. But let's go down to the grid then, and we'll go through the starting grid. So I'll take the first 11, and you'll take the bottom half. So it is going to be Alex Broster, pole number 2 for the Brit in his Formula 2 career, and accompanying him on the front row, it is the Swiss driver Eric Adelberg for ART Grand Prix in second position. Really, Sundevik starts third with teammate Tunjatorn Konkum in fourth. A very, very good qualifying for Sundevik, and Tunjatorn Konkum has done very, very well in fourth, carrying on a good performance from Silverstone. Håkon Olsen starts in fifth with Ollie Boaks in P6. Alright, Chowdhury from 7th. Let's see what he can do today, as Jean-Francois Below will start in 8th position. Daniel Fraser for UNI Virtuosi will start in 9th, with Adam Hidayat taking 10th position, and then it is Tobias Schwulenberg in 11th.
Ilovitz comes over in 12th, followed by Rodrigo Martinez in 13th. Aaron Curtis, the Trident replacement, comes in 14th, followed by Poco for 15th. Jimenez is 16th, followed by the Scotsman of McGregor in 17th. Grimson is over in 18th, followed by Vetchi in 19th. Disappointing there for the Canadian. Schurman is in 20th, followed by Drogovic, the only East European on the grid, in 21st. And Ari Sulu is last place in 22nd for the race.
Yes. Also, one thing, Speedline, it is Rosetta Martinez, just for your information. But it's only one little mistake. Let's go down to the grid then for the Hungarian Grand Prix, who makes its return to the F2 calendars. We have 6 lights. And we're underway here at the... Oh, dear. Oh, no.
What a start.
What a start indeed. Assetto Corsa, why must you do this to us?
I don't know about you, but I think Oliver Boaks won the race.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board. this game and this track as well, it's always been an issue for us when it comes to AC. I do not know what it is with the Hungarian and just Assetto Corsa in general, but it just never wants to work at all. So we're gonna try to find a fix to this. So please just be a bit patient, and we'll get back on track eventually. But we tested it as well. We've tested all these tracks before the season started and everything, and they all were completely fine. I mean, we've done rigorous testing to make sure that something like this does not happen. I don't know why this decides to happen, especially on stream. Oh, it is a bit disappointing, but we'll get back. We'll get back on with the race quite shortly. But it's an old game. It's heavily modded. Things go wrong sometimes.
Yep. That's all I can really say at the moment. It took me by shock, to be honest.
It took me by shock as well.
Like, why is all for Brooks going over there?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised when all of them just binned it into the wall, but like, oh yeah, goodness me. We'll just have to hope to get a fix to this. It's something to do with the AI line, obviously, so we got to take a fix to that. But I think to keep you guys entertained, we could discuss the qualifying grid, and I think the championship as well. Obviously, if you look at the championship at the moment, you've got Albert Chowdhury, who took the win at the first anniversary Grand Prix, who leads the championship with a 2-point gap on 35 points, and then you have Daniel Fraser, who obviously currently is starting in down in 9th, is currently second in the championship with 2 points of a gap to Chowdhury. Then you have Ida Weitz on 23 points, who starts down in 12th. So currently, it is looking like Chowdhury to be the favorite at the moment in qualifying, considering how things are looking in the championship.
Yeah, it definitely does, but like only a 2-point gap between Chowdhury and Fraser, so maybe the Hungarian might change for the better, maybe perhaps as well.
Yeah, obviously the F2 Championship is known for its comebacks and dramatic changes. But obviously my favorite ever example of this has got to be Will Parrish, the eventual F2 champion last season, who clinched the title at Interlagos, and 2 rounds ago at Monza, he was 13th in the driver standings and rocketed up to first in only 2 races. So yeah, really well done from him. But and he obviously did a very, very fantastic job to secure the title in F2. We're having a bit of difficulties with Jamie here. Seems his internet's not working a bit, so we'll just wait a bit. Jamie, hello? Can you hear us, Jamie? Oh, no, okay. Hello? No, okay. Oh, everything just seems to be going wrong today. We are terribly sorry for the inconvenience of all of this. We'll wait a bit and we'll see if Jamie's gonna be able to fix his issues. Hello? No? Okay. It's just some days, things just don't go your way. We'll see now. Jamie, hello? Hello?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness. We'll get back on. We will get back on our way then with the second and hopefully successful start then as we go down to the grid. Alex Broster on pole position. What can he do then as 6 lights are on here at the Hungarian? And we are underway for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Good start this time, and a very good start for Alex Broster. Same with Sundevik in third, who could try and challenge Adelberg into turn 1 on the outside. He's gonna go for the lead though on Broster, though backs out of it as Adelberg's defending his position on the inside line. There is Boaks getting past Konkum, and he might try to get the other MP then round the outside. He's gonna try then into turn number 3, tries to hang it on the long way round, but Sundevik defends the inside line, and Boaks cannot get past for the time being then as Broster leads from Adelberg. There's Hidayat getting past Håkon Olsen as Curtis battles with Rodrigo Jimenez, the rookie, going round the outside, forced off the track though by the Brazilian, but on the inside line he should have the better run through the left-hander, and he gets it done on Rodrigo Jimenez. Nice stuff from Aaron Curtis. Then there's Fraser and Chowdhury. Chowdhury has had an absolute howler of starts here as Curtis takes a bit of a poor line, doesn't get the best of exits, and backs Jimenez into Martinez then, but leading off the line then Alex Broster from Eric Adelberg.
If you look at the timing board, you can see Alex Broster has absolutely left the field almost. Nearly just a second now, within only half a lap now between him and Adelberg. So really impressive there from Broster as well. Of course, awful starts as well. It's going to be very bad for Charnbury and the others to try and catch up. As you can see, Schoenes has got a very bad exit there of the penultimate turn before the hairpin as well. It's not going to go very well for him as well. He's got Poco and Solo as well behind him. And you can see in the back wheel, there's another bad line as well. I think that was Dragovic as well.
Yeah, there's McGregor then on Ari Soilu. These two battled for the Formula E Championship. Now they're battling for P19, so it's a bit of like the wooden spoon. But McGregor does cleanly get ahead of Soilu into turn 1, and he's got quite a good run. He might try to make it 2-1 here, so he's going to try to get Matthias Poco around the outside into turn number 2 and then into 3. He's unable, though, to get the Brazilian. There's Martinez, who disposes of Rodrigo Jimenez, the Brazilian, whom he gets past. Matija Dragovic currently in last place. Obviously does not want to be last at the moment as he's chasing down the last time out race winner here, Nikhil Walji, in 21st, who has not had the greatest of starts either. But as you said, Jamie, Broster has absolutely pulled away from Eric Adelberg, 1.1 seconds to the Swiss driver. We're looking at Adelberg's teammate below, currently in 8th position, chasing down Håkon Olsen in 7th.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. As we're now running Boafellau, he's looking for P7 now. Olsen is just ahead of him. Also got Weitz as well behind him as well, and maybe also looking for P8 as well. I think Weitz kind of had a lackluster race last time as well. Yeah, he did. He didn't score any points last time round in our last round.
Yeah, as we approach lap 3 now, DRS is going to be active in the next sector for these guys. And Alex Broster takes the fastest lap as well, so he looks very, very good on the pace for the time being. Adelberg struggling to keep up with the Brit, but he has got really Sundevik for company. There's Kuben Grissom, who's going to try it on the inside line of Rodrigo Jimenez. Into turn number 2 they go, and then through turn 3 we're going to cut. We're going to go and look back at this battle as Grissom goes round the outside of Rodrigo Jimenez and does get past the Brazilian. So Jimenez dropping positions here from the start. Speaking of positions, I wonder if we could get the position gains up on the screen here, and let's take a look at them. So Ollie Boaks, who's had a very good start, going up 2 positions, but big gainer Adam Hidayat then up 4 positions at the start, up into P4. Very well done from him. Håkon Olsen has not had the greatest of starts. He's gone down 2 positions. Ide Weitz, who has gotten himself into the points, trying to keep that championship hunt alive, as he's ahead of both Fraser and Chowdhury, who have dropped down positions. Chowdhury, as I mentioned, an absolute howler of a start, down 4 positions. Curtis has made up 2. Martinez stays where he is. Grissom has gone up 4. Jimenez is up 1. Schwulenberg is down 5. Absolutely horrible start for him. Shotanas has made up 3. Poco's down 3. Soilu is up 2. So quite a hectic first couple of laps here.
Indeed, you can just see as well the distance between fourth and third as well is now like kind of separating onto its own fields now. So you can see overtaking Vitz now for P8. It was, yeah, it was a really good move there down into turn one. As I was saying, because of the nature of the track as well with the downforces and so on, the field now is being separated between the top three and the rest. You can
I'm
just see.
I'm gonna have to interrupt you there, Jamie, because we would just witnessed Daniel Fraser making a beautiful move on championship contender Ide Weitz. Weitz, though, is he gonna let that slide? He can't do much to try and attack Fraser, and he's now got the other championship contender and current championship leader Abra Chowdhury there in the background. Could we get a replay of that from Daniel Fraser? That was beautiful from the Brit. So let's see how he did this then. And this was on board with Fraser and into turn one. You see Weitz, who's trying to get past below there. On the it goes wide and gets a quite poor exit. Fraser then with the better run senses the opportunity into turn number two. Goes there on the inside line, holds it then through the inside line and into turn three. Swings around the outside of Ide Weitz. Runs a bit wide, but still gets the move done very well. Very just top stuff from Daniel Fraser to get himself into ninth position. And look at this, Jamie. Broster's sizable lead has been cut down by half a second as Erik Adelberg has now caught up to the Brits.
Yeah, indeed. It's to do with the DRS that Adelberg has managed to put in for the last lap as well. That has managed to close in this gap. In comparison to Formula 1 cars, the F2 cars are not as powerful, which makes the DRS ever more so powerful and gives that a better overtaking opportunity for the front runners. As now, as you can see, Adelberg's going to go ahead and use the DRS again, and he's going to challenge Broster for the lead now.
Yeah, as really Sundevik now has the fastest lap in third. He could be a big player to this as Adelberg runs a bit wide. Will that give Sundevik the advantage to make the move? He's going to be there wheel to wheel with the Swiss driver, and this is going to be good for Broster in the race lead as these two are going to scrap away. Sundevik round the outside of Erik Adelberg. Can he make the move stick as he's going to have the inside line into turn three? No. Adelberg successfully manages to defend his position round the outside into turn number three, but now this has cost the pair of them in the fight to Alex Broster.
Yeah, good defending there from Adelberg. Good attempt there from Sundevik, but he just wasn't close enough in order to make that move. And as a result, they've kind of lost time in comparison to Broster now, who's now gone 6/10 now. He's gained 2/10 just from that fight.
As there's Walji running a bit wide. Dragovic was having the look. He was trying to sense the opportunity to try and get past Walji, but unfortunately he just was not able to. Dragovic and Walji obviously going to be fighting for the wooden spoon here, so to say. As we look a bit further up the field, there's Jean-Francois below chasing down the Norwegian Håkon Olsen as they head into turn number 13 now. Below, who was under pressure from Ide Weitz a few laps ago, will be wanting to be on the offense now. We look at Thurnetter and Konkumus, obviously lost position to Ollie Boaks, who was able to make his way up into fourth. He's going to want to try and get back that position, especially because Boaks is not within DRS range. It's going to be he's just going to have to wait and see if he can get past.
Not within DRS range would be an understatement, because look, nearly 5 seconds between Sundevik and Boaks. Boaks is all alone. He doesn't even have the chance of DRS to save him from Kutnam and Hadiat, who are charging ahead, as we see on board now with Schultes Neil.
Ooh. And yeah, Jimenez almost went into the Dutchman there. But yeah, he forced him wide, and I can assure you Rowan won't be too happy about that, as they're going to head through turn number 4. Runs a bit wide though. Is Matthias Poco going to get involved into this? Yes, he does. Through turn 5. It's going to be Poco around the outside, and he gets it done. What an opportunistic overtake from Matthias Poco, and up into 17th goes the Brazilian.
Yeah, really good there. The Brazilian just saw the Dutchman's not very good racing line, and he has capitalized it, and what a brilliant move.
Yeah, and considering it is for 17th as well, it really goes to show how drivers are just wanting to fight for every single position. Even though there may not be points at stake, there is obviously glory at stake for finishing ahead of your fellow competitors and rivals. As Concom now still chasing down Ollie Boakes for P4, and you can see massive train just forming behind the Brit at the moment, who is a whopping 5 seconds off Sundevik in third. So Boakes, I don't know what it is with him at the moment, but just seems to be struggling on the pace.
Yeah, especially given that he had a really good start as well. It's kind of unnatural for him to be really going this slow around this track as well. Really, I think Kukunen will take the Thai driver will take his chances sooner or later, and he will have to, because if he's as fast as the lap state he is, he might have a chance to go for the top three even.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, it's just gonna be about. Oh, obviously he's losing. I can tell you now, he's losing massive amounts of time behind Boakes, and I think he'll be able to cut down the gap for Sundevik without issue if he does get past Boakes. But the question is, when will he be able to do that? Because there might be a point in a race where it just becomes too late. Some position will just be out of reach for Concom, so he'll have to do it quickly. But obviously it is easier said than done, as one man said. Getting close is one thing, passing is another.
Quote you, Miran, anything can and will happen. And it's only 20 laps here to go, so really anything can happen now.
Yes, indeed, I do agree with you there. But then as we head out of the final corner, Concom is going to have the DRS, and is the MP Motorsport driver close enough to Ollie Boakes? He is going to try it on the inside line, then into turn one, goes to Nitorn Concom, and I think he gets the move done on Ollie Boakes, and he does it. Clean and easy move for Nitorn Concom, and up into fourth, and now begins the period to now begins the catch-up for Nitorn Concom to the top three.
Good look at the distance that he's managed to gain from Boakes in just a matter of nearly half a lap as well, for only just a few corners. I think something's wrong with Boakes' pace at the minute. It's not really looking good for him, is it?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. But Concom up into fourth. We'll obviously have to check back with him in a few laps' time to see if he's going to be able to close down the gap to the top three, who are quite closely packed with each other. Adam Hiddad, obviously, he'll be wanting to have his turn to try and get past Ollie Boakes, as we see all the drivers head out of turn 11 and into the more technical sector 3. Hiddad obviously will be wanting to maximize his speed out of this corner, the long right-hander of turn number 14. And we'll see if he's going to be able to do it then, as he's just crossed the DRS activation zone. And now is going to engage the DRS. And look at this, Jamie. Thunatron Concom now is the fastest lap of the race.
Yep. But it's really good there from Cottenham. Still only 5.6 seconds though. But he is really trying to catch to that field. If he keeps it up, his efforts will soon be rewarded, I think. It's really good for him. It just shows that Boakes was really slowing down that field behind him as well.
Yeah. Obviously, the question will be of the other guys stuck behind Boakes at the moment. People like Hideata and Olsen. If they do get past Boakes, will they be able to join the fight as well and unleash their true pace, so to say? As we see Grissom, who was trying it on Martinez in 13th, but Grissom could not get past the Filipino driver. As we look at Hidayat once again, the American. I'm out of instinct, I was going to call him the Indonesian, because that's what he's driven. That's the flag he's been representing the entire career. But I have to kind of reset my brain here and think of him as American.
BWT Racing Team Reserve. Yep. I think he's. Oh well.
Yeah, Hidayat. Obviously, I believe he is in some reserve role. Yes, he's the Racing Point reserve.
It's going to use the DRS now. It's going to make a move on Ollie now. And there he goes.
Yeah, he's going to have a look on the inside. Is he close enough, though? Bogues runs a bit wide on exit. That should give Hidayat, theoretically, the better exit heading out of turn number 1 into turn 2. Will he get it done? As he's going to go on the outside, onto the grass even, goes Hidayat. But will he succeed with the move? He has the inside line through turn 3. That's a less favorable line through there. But they're going to go side by side. Bogues does go a bit wide then into turn number 4. They will go Hidayat round the outside. Gets pushed wide as they both go wide into turn number 5. Then Hidayat, will he make the move stick? Yes, he does. And I think Håkon Olsen is going to be there. Both going to try to retaliate on the inside line heading into the chicane. Olsen jumps over the curb, but he's going to try it. Unfortunately, though, he isn't able to complete the move, as he does get quite a poor exit. And here comes Jean-Francois Bilot, who was trying to get involved into this, but unfortunately he could not.
Really good there from the American on his pass on Bogues as well. Really good side-by-side racing there through Sector 1 and through Sector 2 as well. Bogues, you can see he was getting a really bit twitchy. Oh, Menez and Poco going side-by-side.
That's the two Brazilians battling as they head into turn number 13. Poco is going to defend around the outside, runs a bit wide. So these drivers using all the available track to them, even a bit more if I had to say so myself. But Poco then is going to try, he has disposed of Jimenez, and he's going to go on his teammate Schwulenberg. Poco is just making his way up the field. There goes Håkon Olsen on the inside line of Ollie Bogues. Bogues is dropping like a stone here, and you can tell that something is wrong with the pace of that car. And here comes Below around the outside for an opportunistic overtake on the Brit. Will he be able to succeed with it, though? The very experienced veteran against
the
wide,
rookie. Again. Ooh, just nearly touches the wing of Jean-Francois.
Yeah, that was Fraser was trying to get involved into the battle as well. There, though, it is a device as Daniel Fraser runs a bit wide. It is all kicking off here now at the Hungarian. Weitz, though, not close enough to make a move into the chicane, so he'll stay where he is for the time being. But these drivers, I have to say, being very opportunistic in this race so far.
Indeed, you can see in the timing board as well, Cutnam, as the amount of time that Adam has been behind Ollie Bogues is now 4 seconds between 5th and 4th now. So Ollie is kind of really separating the field quite a lot here, just from not showing his or his pace is rather really lackluster, to be honest.
Yeah,
lost 2 places in a sector as well. That's very worrying as well for the Carlin team.
There goes Sundevik. Then we're going to witness the battle for P2 as Sundevik is going to go on the inside line of Adelberg. And is he going to get past into turn 1? He does. Nice move from really Sundevik. And up into second goes the Swedish-Korean driver. Where has this pace been for the MP Motorsport driver all along? As there is Below then having a look on the inside line of Ollie Bogues. The Frenchman's going to try to have his turn to try and get past the British driver here.
He's going to make it. I think he might make it stick as well if he's just going to be ahead of him through this corner. No, he's not. And Bogues will just take 7th just about.
Yeah, and Bogues will for now defend 7th as Fraser, the other Brit, is there. As we look at Poco, and that is Chotanus. Poco, who disposed of his teammate Schwulenberg, is going to try to get past Chotanus. What a performance from Poco so far.
Yeah, Chotanus and Poco still going wheel to wheel through that chicane. And in fact, Chotanus is still near Poco as well. He's not giving up in his place that easily, is he? And now he's got Schwulenberg as well, his teammate as well. There they go. They're going to go side by side.
Yeah, what a fantastic battle between these two, as Jimenez wanted to make it 3 wide there. I'm running out of words here, but Poco's going to be there on the inside line of Tobias Schwulenberg here. As they head into turn number 13, Poco goes round the outside. Will he succeed with the move, though? Schwulenberg does defend from his teammate. There's Fraser and Weitz. Everything really just is kicking off here. What a return we're having to the Hungary here, ladies and gentlemen. But Fraser does defend from Ida Weitz then.
Yep, that first start is all forgiven for what is producing great racing here, as we're nearly entering the halfway point of this race.
There's Walji and McGregor who are going to go fighting with each other. Walji, though, gets a very, very good run on turn 1 and is going to go on his Prema teammate here.
Gonna keep it side by side. Yep. It's a great move there from Jimenez to maintain P18 from his teammate.
As we look at
up here.
We look at the battle. Yeah.
Yeah, for the first time ever, Brewster's now within DRS range. For like quite a while, for like 10 laps ago. It was like the last time we saw him in DRS range from Heidelberg. And now it's Sundevic's turn for his chance at the lead now. And the main straight is where he's probably going to capitalize as well. He's going to need to take the inside of the corner and maybe go in it deep if he wants to take the lead off of him.
Yes,
using the DRS now.
Yeah, and there he goes for the race lead. Really, Sundevik into P1. Will he do it as he goes into turn 1? Broster goes wide, and really, Sundevik takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. What a drive from this man, I really have to say so. Really, Sundevik, for the first time since the 2018 Portuguese Grand Prix, now leads an F2 race.
Textbook overtake right there from Sundevik as well. You could not have asked for a better and cleaner overtake than that as well. And now Brewster's now falling behind. He's got Edelberg as well to worry about for P3 now.
And there's Fraser, who does get ahead of Ollie Boaks. There's Weitz and his former teammate Kuben Grissom, who are gonna battle. Weitz, has he fallen down positions? I think he must have, because he's down to 12th now.
To worry about as well.
Yeah, Grissom obviously has Curtis behind to worry about, so we'll see what will happen there as we've approached the halfway point of the race.
Just noticing, according to the timing board, that 4th, 5th, and 6th have all got a very wide gap between them. Kucknam has slowly caught up to the top 3, but it's not going to be. I don't think it'll be close enough by the time the race ends.
Yeah, we'll see what they will be able to pull out then in the second stage of the race. But Broster still hanging on to the back of Sundevik. We'll see if the Brit will be able to retake the race lead away from him, as Chowdhury now chases down Ollie Boaks in 10th as they head into turn 1. Makes contact though with the Brit and forces him wide. Chowdhury being a bit aggressive here, but it has cost him though, as there's Rosetta Martinez on his inside, but they make contact and Chowdhury spins. The championship leader spins into turn 2, and I think he stalled it. Boaks has crashed as well, and that's the championship leader DNFing out of the Hungarian Grand Prix. That's a crucial mistake for the Pakistani driver.
That's very unfortunate. That is incredibly unfortunate. It's such a weird place to make a mistake in areas that such, but that is, I am amazed. I'm actually lost for words that a crash like that has managed to happen, especially involving the championship leader in this area of the race, as you can see there. Yeah. So I think if one of Chowdhury maybe got tagged from behind by Martinez.
And just absolutely pumped him up. I have to say that unfortunately is going to be Abrar's fault there. I mean, they made contact here, and he shoves Boaks wide, which obviously doesn't really benefit him in any way. And then into turn number 3, he just absolutely misjudges the braking point and just goes into the back of Boaks, and Boaks obviously couldn't quite hold it and came to a standstill, unfortunately. But yeah, that is gonna be on Chowdhury.
Yeah, I was going to say it was the person who had the good start and the person who has a bad start in an interesting battle, and it certainly did in an interesting way. But you know, that's racing, and I think Canada will happen. Maranovici.
Yep, as there are the two Premas and go and with the snap oversteer, Nikhil Walji almost lost it, but he was able to keep it as he's going to be down to 17th. Though there's Soilu up into 18th.
Good save there from Walji. I thought he almost lost it there in that chicane and maybe put him down self into last.
There's Dragovic and McGregor battling. I'm going to have to go for a while, so Jamie, if you could just take over for a bit.
Yep, sure, no worries. Dragovic goes ahead and takes over McGregor for P19 now. He's the only East European driver now currently there. Jean-Francois Billau is now challenging Olsen for P6 now. They're gonna go side by side. Billau is going to take the inside line. And Billau goes ahead and takes P6. Olsen has got a very wide line. He's maybe under the pressure for Fraser now. Fraser, they go down through turn 2 now. And Fraser just tries to go down round the outside of him. And is he going to make it work? No, he doesn't. They're going to keep down for the inside line. They're going to go for this straight now, which is now going to become sector 2 now. Still riding in with Fraser now. He's still got Olsen in his sights now. They go for a flat. He goes a bit wide. It's not the real ideal line, and Olsen is slowly pulling away now from Fraser now. You can see now there, Sundevik and Bruster are kind of... No, they're not there. They're still there. 4 seconds is still between 4th, 5th, and 6th at the moment still. It's still being separated now, as we've only got a few laps now left to go. So at the moment, currently Sundevik is currently leading, followed by Broster, Adelberg, Kuttenberg, and Haddad. Jean-Francois Barrow is 6th, followed by Olsen, Fraser, and then Martinez, and Witz is currently the last of the top 10 at the moment. Currently spread out now, we've only got a few laps to go now, around about, now entering in about 10 laps to go approximately at the moment, with the true sign of pace being showed here.
Hello, I am back. What did I miss?
Welcome back. Billau is up to 6th after passing Olsen for 7th. Fraser was challenging Olsen and didn't manage to secure 7th.
I see. I think the this little box effect, I guess you could call it, in the midfield, you can see how spread out everyone from P4 to P6 is. And Thurnetorn Konkum, as when he passed Ollie Boaks for 4th, it was obviously obviously doesn't seem to have gained that much on he doesn't seem to have gained that much on the top 3, so I guess he's just kind of stayed where he is, not really gaining a lot of time and not really losing much either.
Yeah, if there was a pit strategy, maybe there was a way Kukkum maybe can find a way to get closer to the top 3. But as the laps kind of draw in closer and closer, P4 really may be where his race will finish, unless if there's a chance that maybe any of the top 3 might retire, or if they continue fighting so much that he can end up closing that gap. But I honestly don't see that happening anytime, especially within 10 laps to go.
Yes, indeed, I do agree with you there. As we watch, Daniel Fraser is now going to go on the inside line of Håkon Olsen into the first corner. Will the Brit succeed with the move as he goes on the inside line of Olsen? Yes, he does. And Daniel Fraser is through up into 7th.
Yep, good move there from Fraser. Olsen did much as he could. Albeit for the wide line at the exit of turn 1, but that's just the AL line as we all know and recognise now. Fraser is now at the 7th. He's got Billau on his sights. Billau, I don't think, is going to end up catching P5, and P5 is not going to end up catching to P4. So yeah, so the battle for P6 is what Fraser is looking for.
Yeah, we'll see if he's going to be able to get past his long-time competitor, obviously, in Formula 2, Billau and Fraser being one of the few drivers now on the F2 grid who have remained in the series since its inception in 2017, obviously. Billau, who has stayed with the exact same team since 2017. Fraser, who has not stayed with one team for more than a season, so I guess you could call them a bit of polar opposites, but two great drivers nonetheless, as we do know.
Saw what you did there.
Yeah. as we look at the battle for the lead. In fact, Alex Broster, who still has been hanging on to the back of Ridley Sundvik, the DRS being a big aid to the Brit. We'll see that he's going to be able to get past if he
Can
is
really
going to.
be anyone's. Anyone within the top three really could be in a chance of winning. It just depends on when they get the DRS or when, and how good can they capitalize on their opportunities. With only like very few overtaking opportunities here, I can in the circuit I can probably see like 4 or 5. If they could capitalize on those, then they'll definitely go and win.
Yes, indeed. We'll just have to wait and see if any of them will be able to get their way past at the moment. Obviously, Sundvik has led races a few times in his very long racing career, but has never been able to convert it into a victory. He got very close at Portimao in 2018. For those who remember, he was fending off Rosetta Martinez for the race lead, but ultimately a mistake from the MP Motorsport driver saw Martinez swoop past and take the race lead. Speaking of mistakes, Martinez running a bit wide.
Very unnatural there, for sure.
Yeah, Martinez, obviously, who struggled a lot in 2019, obviously. Just really couldn't match his 2018 season, as he's going to have a look on the inside line of Håkon Olsen for 8th. Let's see if he can get past the Norwegian then, as he is going to go round the outside of Olsen into turn number 2. Can he get past him as the two go wheel to wheel? Olsen round the outside, gets the better exit, but he goes a bit wide. And will that compromise him on exit, I wonder? No, Olsen does defend from Martinez, but the battle might not be over yet. No, it is, as Martinez ran a bit wide. That's what it divides a tiny bit closer.
You can hear the tire screeches on that second quarter whenever someone tries to overtake there. So anytime whenever they do try to attempt an overtake and fail, does pose like a really bad effect to their tires, which I think may also may explain the reasons why there's such a big gap as well between the third and fourth and fifth and sixth, because the overtakes that they had attempted on Ollie Boaks now, whenever they have to use the outside line, they degraded the tires, and as a result their pace is much slower than the front runners.
Yeah, you know, I never noticed that actually, so it makes quite a lot more sense now. But we'll see then if it will be affecting any of these guys in this pack then for the time being, as Martinez comes out of the final corner. He should have a good run on Håkon Olsen. That one should be able to get his way past into turn 1, going side by side with Olsen then into the first corner. Will he succeed with the move as they head into turn number 1? Olsen around the outside should be able to defend from Martinez. Rosetta still hangs on though to the position. He's going to switch to the inside line though into turn 2 there. Quick thinking from the UNI Virtuosi driver, and will that be enough for him to get past? Yes, it is. That is Martinez up into 8th ahead of Håkon Olsen.
I think that's the first time we've seen someone who is behind another driver overtake someone in that corner on the inside line. We're very smart. Why don't other drivers think of that? Nonetheless, it's a very good switch back there from Martinez up into 8th, and also with a good defense as well.
Yeah, nicely done from Martinez. We know on his day how great of a driver he can be. Obviously, the man who holds the same number of wins as Thomas Mandic and Daniel Fraser. Those three tied for most wins in F2 history. As you have one battle on the field for P11. That's Aaron Curtis versus Kuben Grissom. But we're going to look at the battle for P2. 10 positions up between Eric Adelberg and Alex Broster. Might Broster lose another position with 6 laps to go here?
He might, but maybe Adelberg might know that the more that they fight, the more that Sundvik is also going to pull away. And if he wants to have a chance at winning, maybe it's the best thing not to fight and rather attack in the final closing stages. It's not quite the closing stages yet. It's only 6 laps to go, which which really makes a big difference.
Yeah, that could be quite interesting. Here's Aaron Curtis then on the inside line of, or that's Rowan Shotanas, whom he's defending from, actually. I thought I was going to go on Cuban Grissom, but I saw a bit wrong. Either way, the Irishman does defend from the Formula 2 race winner and championship contender last season.
He's done pretty good in his tryout stint so far. He hasn't really gained a net position overall, aside from the two that Boaks and Charnery retired from. But he's done pretty good. He has gained some places, and albeit maybe lost some places. But it's a good, strong showing for the Irishman as well, especially in his first F2 race this season.
For sure, and I think if obviously he's had quite a solid debut in Formula 3, so I think if he just carries on the same performance as he's doing right now throughout the season, I think a few F2 teams will be calling, obviously, next season, as we're going to look at the battle for P2. Then Eric Adelberg is going to try to get Alex Broster into turn number 1. Broster just falls out of DRS range. Here goes Eric Adelberg then into turn 1, 4-second position. Will Broster be able to put up the defense to the Swiss driver? He goes a bit wide and gets a worse exit, and Eric Adelberg is through for second, and that sees Broster down into P3.
You can see all in the front runners whenever they make their overtakes is only just in that turn 1. They're not going side wheel to wheel through sector 1 or sector 2. They're all just DRS and then take the inside line of the hairpin and just make the place stick. And once again, very good to overtake there from Heidelberg now. Now he's going to be the one charging for Sundevik now. I think because of Brusters, he's kind of fading behind ever since he lost the lead. I think it's now Adelberg's turn.
Yeah, we'll see if Adelberg can do it, but he's only got about 5 laps to do it. There's Waldi who tried it on Poco, but didn't get the best of exits. Here comes Rodrigo Jimenez around the outside of his teammate. He pushes his teammate wide, though. Either way, Jimenez says, I'll get it done off track. And he does get it done off track, as Jimenez now up into 16th.
Side by side, real racing there from Jimenez and Wally, as well as really, really good actually there, as we're now heading over with 5 laps to go now for the race now.
Yeah, we'll see then. And look at this, Jamie. Adelberg is already under a second of Really Sundevik.
Well, we've kind of underestimated how quickly he would get there.
Look how much faster he's lapping. He's the last lap,
like half a second faster. Within like half a lap.
My goodness. This is, I don't know what pace we've unleashed upon the track now, but Adelberg, I think, might try to go for the race lead in his last 4 laps.
Yeah, so Sundevik, the career really needs. I don't think he can do much in order to defend from the amazing pace of Adelberg. Adelberg has done really good actually so far. He's been in P3 for most of the time, but now since his overtaking Brust, he's now really showing his true pace as well. I think Sundevik might have pushed too early on, midway through the race now, and I think that might come back to haunt him now, as he's actually coming closer. Yeah.
Yeah, he is closing in. There was Nikhil Walji having a look on Matthias Poco, but he was not able to get past him. We're looking at Ida Weitz, who's going to try to challenge Håkon Olsen for two racing points, obviously, coming out of this race. Obviously, Weitz, I think, was hoping for a bit more.
Would you like to say a fun fact about Ida Weitz?
I guess that he is the only driver with a 100% podium rate in Formula 1. It's a fun fact. Yeah, it is a very fun fact, obviously, considering he is the only driver in this entire field to have scored a podium in Formula 1, and he's only one of few to have even raced in F1. I believe the only ones in the field is Weitz and Broster. But Weitz, obviously, it was Belgium 2018 where he would replace the banned Mohamed Patel, and had a very, very shocking debut where he overtook teammate Alfred Klaus to finish 3rd at that race, and so far has not raced in Formula 1 yet. As we witness Schwulenberg then, who's going to try to go around the outside of Rowan Shotanus Will he succeed with the move? Then it's going to go on the outside, but Shotanas has the more superior outside line through turn number 3. There's Dragovic, who's going to get past Ari Soilu, and up into 18th goes the Serbian. So he makes short work of the Formula E champion, who seems to be struggling a bit here at the Hungarian. But look at this, Jamie. Adelberg and Sundevik separated by 0.5 of a second.
Yeah, those two are actually closing up now. I think Adelberg will soon make his move on Sundevik. Soon, hopefully soon. He's not going to be behind him for the next 4 laps now, as it soon's going to become 3 as they go ahead and cross the start-finish straight now. And now he's got like 3 laps now.
Yeah, he's going to be in the DRS. He is gaining. He's gaining, and he's going to go on the inside line of really Sundevik. Will Erik Adelberg be able to take the race lead away from the MP Motorsport driver? They go side by side into turn number 1. Sundevik runs wide, though. That's a crucial mistake from the MP driver, and Erik Adelberg takes it on lap 26 of 28. He takes back the race lead from really Sundevik, or I should say takes it, but still, that is Erik Adelberg into the lead of the race. What a drive from this man.
Great overtake, really great overtake. Really unfortunate for Sundevik to go so wide. If he kept it on the track, maybe he'll be able to defend now. But yeah, great overtake there from Adelberg, as we now see Fraser and Bilal going wheel to wheel now.
Yeah, and what a battle between these two guys, as Below is going to go all out to try and defend his position around the outside through turn number 5. Fraser is going to have the inside line, but he gets a quite poor exit. That's going to head into the chicane. Below does defend from Daniel Fraser, but he's still going to be there through the chicane. What a battle then, as Fraser gets the better run heading out of the chicane, and he's going to go around the outside of Jean-Francois Below, and he does get past Below. What a battle between the two. But Erik Adelberg, look, 1.5 seconds, he already is leading by this man en route to his 2nd win in Formula 2 in only 3 races. What an absolutely fantastic opening performance we've had from this man in this season so far.
Yeah, Erik Adelberg's performance here is really going to help him in the standings for sure, since Chartenbury is, retired from that collision with Ollie Boakes. Now, like, with his performance there, it'll definitely be rewarded in the standings for sure.
Yeah, and definitely considering Chowdhury won't be scoring any points, Fraser will be coming home with 10 points. So I think Daniel Fraser will still be in the champion, or Daniel Fraser will be taking the championship. There's Jimenez and Schwulenberg battling, but no, actually, I think, does Adelberg have the fastest lap? We don't know. I think he does. I think it's still Sundevik with the fast lap of the race. But if Adelberg gets the fastest lap of the race, he will be in the lead of the championship. If he doesn't, he'll be tied with Fraser at the top of the championship, heading out of the Hungarian. So Fraser making the move on Below, that was quite crucial for the Brit to keep the lead of the championship.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think Sundevik might have the fastest lap, but if Adelberg's pace is as good as it is, maybe he might be able to clinch the fastest lap. Maybe might be an outside chance, but with the amount of pace he's going, only 1.3 seconds away from Sundevik now, who did set the fastest lap, it might be possible.
It could well be, as we're going to witness a battle between Hidayat and Konkum as they head out of the final corner. Adam Hidayat, who somehow has been able to catch up to Thunderthorn Konkum with the massive gap that he had previously. He's going to go on the inside line of the man from Thailand as he's going to head into turn number 1. Hidayat's going to be on the more favorable inside line, and he should be able to get this done on the MP Motorsport driver, and he does get it done nicely. Nice stuff from Adam Hidayat, who has not scored any points yet in F2 this season. And there's Weitz being put under pressure by his former teammate Kuben Grissom, whom he's going to go side by side with on the final lap of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Weitz is going to have the inside line then, as Grissom is going to try to nab 1 point away from the man who's contending for the championship. Then Weitz round the outside will try and get past the American Aaron Curtis. Yeah, there goes Aaron Curtis. He's having a look on the inside line of Grissom. but he's not able to
And
get
there's
past him.
Shortanis going the inside of Curtis.
Yeah, it's absolutely kicking off here on the final lap. Shotanos can't do it. And there is Schwulenberg, who might have a look on the inside line of the Dutchman. Is he going to be able to get past those? Shotanos jumps over the curb, does not get the best of exits. Tobias Schwulenberg still having a look on the inside line. It gets a bit bogged down then as he heads through the corner.
There.
Yeah, he got a bit out of shape there as Curtis is going to try and battle for position, but coming across the line, taking his second win in Formula 2 is Erik Adelberg, who wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. What an absolute masterclass from the man from Switzerland. Really, Sundevik can't do it as he's going to finish second, and Alex Broster comes home from pole to finish third. Daniel Fraser will hold on to the championship lead as he ties Adelberg, finishing P6, and Ide Weitz just holds on to the P10, finishing, grabbing 1 point from Kuben Grissom. What a race! Oh, that was absolutely fantastic, I have to say so myself. Yeah, fastest lap goes to Thunjatorn Konkum, so he will get the 1 extra point, not Adelberg. So Fraser and Adelberg will be tied at the top of the timing table. But let's go through the results then. I'll take the first 7, and you can take the rest plus the non-finishers. So it is Erik Adelberg who wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, second win of the season. And considering he's a rookie, absolutely incredible to see such a performance from the Swiss driver. Really suddenly finishes second. Unfortunately, he could not take the race win here at Hungary. And then it is Alex Broster who finishes third podium for the Brit. I'm sure he'll be quite elated with that. Adam Hidaat starting 10th, finishing 4th. Absolutely wonderful performance from the American-Indonesian driver, with Thunjatorn Konkum clinching fastest lap as he finishes 5th. Daniel Fraser takes 6th with Jean-Francois Bilot in 7th, and then Rosetta Martinez will be 8th with Håkon Olsen in 9th, and Ide Weitz taking 10th position. And then in 11th, it will be Kuben Grissom.
Aaron Curtis finishes in 12th, followed by Shortanis in 13th, Tobias Schulenberg in 14th, followed by Jimenez in 15th. Drogovic, the only East European, comes home in 16th. Good for him. Vaji for the Canadian is in 17th. Ari Sulu is in 18th. 19th is McGregor. Puku is in 20th. And Ollie Boakes and Charnbury are your only DNFs after that sad collision.
Yeah, it's a shame to see for the both of them. This might be a costly DNF for Ara Chowdhury, but that has been it for the ACOC today. And I have to say, what a race. Wouldn't you agree, Jamie?
Yeah, it's really good. Really good now, since we're it's now going to be the first of the European tracks now, and this is going to set the momentum now for the future tracks now for the upcoming rounds now, especially as we're heading over to Spa now for the next race as well. This momentum from Hungary now is probably going to carry through towards all the drivers now, especially for the standings as well, because now it looks all close enough now as the title fight can now really be anyone's game now.
Yeah, I have to say, we're just having more and more people join the title fight as the races go on, and we are obviously all for it here. But now then comes the difficult question, driver of the day. And I have to say, there's so many people I really want to give it to. As much as I want to give it to Erik Adelberg, I'm going to give it to Adam Hidaat. From P10 to P4, absolutely wonderful performance from the American driver. And considering this is his first point of the season, he's still proving to the field that he still has got it in terms of having the pace and being able to challenge his competitors. So Adam Hidaat gets my driver of the day. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you about Adam Hidaat's performance there, especially considering the amount of the field that had such a difference as well, and he managed to claw back up all the way into P4 as well. It's a remarkable performance from him. Ollie Boakes as well should also get some notification from me, because he did make a good start, albeit like his pace did kind of spread the field apart. I think that start is something to be reckoned with. But yeah, I mean, like Adelberg has done really good as well, like all the way from P3 and then managing to claw back positions up in the final ones for the race determining win. It's I'm amazed for the amount of like overtakes he did. It was all clean, it was all smooth, and he did it in such a way that the leaders did not have a chance of managing to catch back. Like as we've seen in the nature for the midfield overtakes, it was just one overtake through that hairpin in the first corner, and then that was it. He left it, and it was just 1.1 second immediately, like within half a lap as well. That is just incredible, and personally, in my opinion, I don't think you can give driver of the day to anyone else aside from him.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many people really you could give it to, and it's really hard to decide. But yeah, absolutely fantastic race, I have to say so myself. But the action at the Hungarian this week, obviously, or this weekend, is not over. We'll be having the Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix later this week. F3 obviously isn't on this week; they are on a break, and then we will have Super Formula at Chang, which is going to be round number 3. But we have some news of Super Formula coming a bit later, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But yeah, make sure to not miss F1 and F2. And I think now it is going to be time to round it off. So thank you so much for watching the ACOC today. I have been your commentator, Miran.
I've been commentator Jamie.
Thanks so much for watching. The ACOC will return tomorrow for Formula One. Thank you